everyone, and welcome to Rival Bros, where shit literally hits the fan, as you can see from our intros. I'm your host, as always, Timucin over here, representing Liverpool, and the black sheep of the family, Edip, is with us, supporting Manchester United. So, a lot to talk about this week. Some interesting scores, things shaping up. Matchday 17. So we're halfway there. So things are kind of like shaping up over there. So we can kind of take a look at the standings and probably make like a more educated guess as we go. I answered in the Christmas era over here. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. Edip is still confused about the difference between Christmas Eve and Christmas Day because he keeps saying tomorrow is Christmas. So I'm trying to explain to him that it is not. But obviously there is no Christmas back home. But New Year's still a big thing as it was when we were kids? Let me ask that one.
Not really, because we got old, basically. Plus,
You got old, you mean?
yeah. Well, the thing about it is, we have two sections of the society, because one of them is more secular, and those areas, neighborhoods, the places that we live in, like Kadıköy and where Fenerbahçe is, and Beşiktaş and Şişli and Nişantaşı, whatever. They are lit up like really beautifully decorated with lights and everything. Other places, not so much. In
Really?
fact, it's not looked upon as a Muslim.
Yeah,
thing.
it's like a foreigner thing. And mind you, it's not like it's for Christmas, it's for New Year's. But I
Yeah,
know
but
there's a lot of
people don't know the
similarities, the
difference.
tree, the gifts, and all that kind of
No,
stuff.
but people don't know about Christmas. They think that the Christians actually celebrate the New Year because uh, it's Christian, because it's
Kind
a
of like you not knowing
Christian.
the difference between Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, to be fair.
Today is Christmas Eve, for example. Good morning. Meanwhile,
For
it's the
you, yes.
24th.
It will
It's
be
the
here.
24th year. The thing is, the ornaments, the things for the New Year's is obviously exactly the same as the Christmas ornaments,
Yeah.
the tree, blah blah. So it's looked upon like a Christian thing, whereas the tree decoration thing is from the Sumerians, which is Anatolia.
Look at this. Look at this. See, like you come to Rival Bros, you get some crappy historical information as well
There you go.
as
There you
Premier
go.
League
Let's talk about
information.
football, which is really
Yeah,
cheap.
let's get back to because I know that's why Mohamed Salah, like whenever he posts a picture, there's always a lot of like people talking crap, and he does it, I think, spite of everybody every Christmas, which I'm all for, really, just to kind of like trigger the internet's social media characters out there. But let's get to the Premier League over here. I'll throw out the scores. So we'll kind of like start from the beginning. And I do want to ask a couple of teams as we go. Newcastle 2, Chelsea 2. Now the crowds down below, including Liverpool, have caught up to Chelsea in some ways with all the moves Chelsea did. Have they kind of flown under the radar because of like Liverpool's form and stuff? Like Liverpool being at the same point, despite Liverpool having a horrific season. What does that say about Chelsea when they're at the same points? Have they kind of like flown under the radar here, actually not being able to being actually kind of like mediocre?
Yeah, I mean, apart from the very fanatic Chelsea and hopeful Chelsea fan, we were talking about this beginning of the season. But we weren't expecting too much from Chelsea. They're exactly where we would expect them to be honest. That is why they're not flying under the radar. If they were like ninth or 10th, or maybe 6 points less than what they have now, they would be sort of on it. Or if they were playing for championship and sort of closer to the top. But here it's the fourth or the fifth or the third. This is Chelsea. No matter what they spend, they end
Yeah.
up like
I mean,
here.
they're gonna spend anyway, so they'll probably
Yeah,
spend more in January as well. I know they pulled out of the Semenyo race, but that's probably because Semenyo is looking like going to City. He would
yeah,
go to City, kind of a thing, which is kind of scary. I'd be worried if I was Arsenal, because if they get Semenyo as well, because I consider Semenyo a much better Doku, if you will, if they
yeah.
sign him over there. Shelton is up middle of the night, literally Christmas Eve, because he's like an hour ahead of me. So it is definitely Christmas Eve over there for Shelton. He said Chelsea are way too inconsistent. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's just they still have not, despite signing 4 strikers a season, they have not found their striker. I really thought Joao Pedro would be that guy, but no, I knew the pie, like when they were not the pie, what's his name? The dude they signed from, I know, like John was, I was messing with John because he wanted us to sign him from Ipswich. Oh
All
my,
right.
I'm getting old.
Yes, you are.
You can't remember his name either, so I know what you're talking about. Yeah, okay, Uncle Google. I can see the screen shining in your face, so you can't even be like, I'm not Google.
I'm not doing it incognito.
I keep saying Depay, but it's not Sky. Depay is the other dude. Okay, somebody in the chat has to be able to Delap. Thank you. Thank you.
Lion,
Delap. Yeah, I mean, hey, confusing signing, says Shelton, but John was rooting for us to sign him, which I guess he would have come in handy now with the Isak injury. But yeah, they just had not found that person that consistently scores. So it's kind of hard to keep getting the points, especially when you don't have the set pieces to go with it like Arsenal does, because Arsenal does not have that person yet either. But they do have the set pieces they rely on to get those goals, it feels like. So I don't, like, I never did, and I still don't fear Chelsea in the long run. I mean, we lost to Chelsea on top of it too, and we're still in the same points despite having like a poor form. I mean, we lost in the last second, but let's go back over here. Wolves, who are temporarily with us over here in the Premier League, about to play Liverpool, which scares the hell out of me because that game looks so easy that it will probably not be. But they get close, but they're not going very far. I always make fun of it because you're the one who was praising them early in the season for signing Vitor to an extension, saying things like, see, this is how a club should run. So they're running themselves to the championship. Is that pretty much a guarantee? They're actually about to break a record, tie a record, if they do not get any points in the next 2 games, having the lowest number of points as of December 31st in the Premier League history.
Them from you guys, but I mean, it turned out that Vitor wasn't the problem, obviously. So in any case, I don't know what I mean. For example, in the United game, I watched them for 90 minutes. I watched another game of them a couple of weeks back. I don't know. I don't remember which one, but I mean, you can see the players are out of it already. They're already in the championship. So I don't know.
I think part of it is some teams find ways to win, like they're consistent winners, and it becomes a habit. And some teams just find ways to lose, and that's the habits. And I think the way, I mean, we even see it with like Liverpool. I mean, we were talking about it, like the moment something goes wrong, everybody goes in this, oh, here we go again mode. So those guys are constantly in that mode, if you
because individually, if you look at the players, they shouldn't be this shouldn't be the mix that comes out of those players. I wouldn't think
they shouldn't be this bad, right?
Yeah, not this bad, exactly.
But I mean, here's the thing though, like you look at the squad and you're like, I shouldn't be this bad, but then you compare him to, I don't know, like a Sunderland or a Brighton or something like that. That's when you're like, maybe they should be there, because they're still
but it's on paper, isn't it? I mean, when we started this season, we were talking about who came up will go down. But now Sunderland looked sort of ordinary, but then as the season goes, as you say, if you get the habit of winning or getting results, then some players begin to shine more, and you say, they have this. although I mean Wolves would sort of and they had in the past seasons some of the people that sort of carried them, and I think they lost a lot of players as well. And I think this Semenyo thing, sort of gay thing, the Eze thing. I think this is ruining the game. I mean, you have what you have, so stick with it. If you get sort of cherry pick all the no pun intended with Bournemouth, sort of cherry pick all the good players and bring them into a couple or three teams. That's not a league. That's three big.
Did someone say Super League?
That's three bullies just forcing the other teams to play so that they can be champions or whatever.
I think the only difference is instead of having one bully in Germany,
you
for
have
example,
three
in Bayern or like PSG in France, you have 4 or 5 bullies. It's a gang of bullies going around.
Exactly, gang of bullies, and they force the others to play and lose so that they can win something. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's
but the only way to
it's
stop
basically
that
what's happening. You're playing good. You come and play on our side. I mean, if you are picking a game in the sort of in the neighborhood, and sort of if two teams sort of just sort of match each other, and you pick the star of that one team. Okay, you come play for us. I'll give you one of the weak ones, because we used to do the opposite, didn't we?
Yeah, you guys are too strong. Why don't you switch?
Sort of, is more much stronger, then it's not fun. So you change a couple of players here and there.
Fair,
so that
we were
you have
making money, so there's that.
Exactly.
First, like today, not forgets. Was he an Antalyaspor football fan?
Yes, he was an Antalyaspor fan.
Those were the
colors. It's the colors as well, white and red. His costume is for Antalyaspor.
Santa was such a hooligan. Yes. One of the Antalyaspor ultras was Santa. Okay, let's keep going with the scores over here. City West Ham. City is rolling, and West Ham is West Ham. I don't know if there's a lot to say about that. Brighton Sunderland 0-0. Sunderland, I mean, normally you would worry, but like they're sending 6 players to AFCON compared to like 1 or 2 and stuff. But it feels like they banked enough points where they're in good shape.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to go back to West Ham, because West Ham was one of my to go down teams, if you remember.
Yes. Do you think they will still go down? There's a small gap on the bottom too.
Yeah. First of all, I want to be right, obviously. But second of all, I think they have the potential to do so. Sunderland, we talked about this last week, and you were talking about an upset for Sunderland, and you sort of didn't go for it because you knew they had so many guys missing.
Yes.
So I think that's a good result for them.
I think so too.
Right.
Yeah, I think so too. Especially like it's going to be a team that you're going to battle for like middle level and stuff. I mean, Shelton says West Ham is definitely trending down. Yes, Edip is having a lot of joy because he made a prediction.
Thank you. I told this in August.
Yes, among 55 other predictions, one of them is coming true. So you gotta love it. Bournemouth won. Speaking of cherries, Bournemouth won. Burnley won. Bournemouth is not looking so hot. In the beginning of the year, I remember when we beat them 4-2. That was the first game. We were up 2-0, 2-2, 4-2 and stuff. And then afterwards, we kept winning. And Bournemouth went on a run. They won like 4 games in a row or something afterwards. And we were like, Bournemouth is like a really good team. So is Bournemouth a really good team?
Yes, until people come in with all this money and confuse the minds of the stars of the team. I mean, come on.
They were bad before the Semenyo talk even started.
Yeah, no. But I mean, it's got to be the motivation of these guys, like Semenyo, for example, or
to go to Europe or something like that. You're saying?
Yeah, exactly. So if you show yourself, then they're putting in a lot more performance to shine in the team, so that City will come with the
But
Arabic
that's
money
the
and buy them
motivation.
up.
You're such a hater. That's the motivation of being a star in a team like that because you
No, no,
want
it's
to
not.
go into
It's
the
it's not for Bournemouth. It's not for the team. It's for the individual,
exactly.
and that's not right.
But it's a
It's
career. If you're working
Semenyo,
in a company
Semenyo
and you're
or
doing really well,
Eze trying to shine, not for Crystal Palace, not for the cherries, and that is I think unfair because then they will go to City and they will score against Bournemouth and not getting happy about the goal or
oh, the
something like that.
whole
Yeah, it's a sham. It's a sham.
it is a sham, but I can understand it too. They're like professionals. I mean, if you're like a sales guy, right, in a
Yeah.
small company and you're like the best sales guy, I mean, what is your ambition going to be? You're going to be like, well, what are you going to do? It's all about the company and the company is doing well thanks to me. Or are you going to go into another company that's nationwide so you can be a district manager or something like that?
Yeah, well, that is for you, yes. But if the system isn't working like that, then you would have to stick with Bournemouth and make Bournemouth a team. I mean, let me ask you this: we had a Leicester City miracle with the pizza boxes and the
Yeah.
Ranieri. Um, will that ever happen again? You think?
I mean, it will
Or
have to be another, it will have to be a
will somebody
miracle.
come in and get Vardy or Kante or sort of anybody or Chala, for example, in that January?
I don't think so because I think if you have something going for January, so I think that's why the whole Semenyo thing started getting louder and louder the last 2-3 weeks because of Bournemouth's form. I think if you're
Yeah,
doing really well, that's why the whole gay thing is kind of in the balance now because Palace has some things to play for. If your
yeah,
club has some things to play for, I think as a club, you can go to the player and say, hey, man, I know you want to go, and this is a good move for you, but we got stuff to do around here. So
yeah.
we have our
Finish
own
this up.
ambitions. Stay with
Yeah,
us, and then we'll help you out in the summer, right?
yeah,
You can say that
yeah,
to a player. But if you're
yeah.
going nowhere and the guy is like, yeah, we're not going anywhere, so I got to go, then what are you going to say? I mean, Sheldon says Leicester City will never happen again.
Yeah, that's what
I
I
mean, it will
think.
have to be another miracle because I don't think we ever said, even when that happens, Leicester City thing is a possible deal. It would just not. That's
No,
why it's a miracle.
correct,
So miracles
correct.
do happen, but it would have to be one of those seasons where everybody is down again and they get on the
Well, it's
streak and all
Christmas.
that.
It's Christmas, isn't it?
It
Makes
is
us do
Christmas. Yes, jolly. Antalya Sport fan is on his way.
Semenyo will be coming to Fenerbahce.
Come to
That will be
Fenerbahce. Like
that
Mo,
will be.
along with he'll bring Mo with him. Tottenham 1, Liverpool 2. This
Yeah,
was
I didn't
quite
see that
a
one.
game.
How did that go?
You did not get, did you really not see it?
No.
Oh, you missed some serious theater. I
Oh,
mean,
really?
oh yeah, I mean the red cards and stuff like that. I mean legit red cards. Richarlison being an asshole, just the usual. I find it odd that Tottenham. Well, I'll ask you that. Are you shocked that Tottenham is as bad as they are?
No, no. I think it's a different version of Chelsea. Chelsea sticks there in the fourth, as we said. Tottenham cannot. So they're either sort of pushing the first four, and then next season they're nowhere to be seen. And it sort of the thing about Tottenham is uh, annoying for the fans because in the beginning of the season you would look at Tottenham and say, this might be
Yep.
the year we are putting something together, the new manager and blah blah, everything is shiny, and then suddenly it's downhill and you don't know how it has gone that way.
Yes, and it's the
Uh,
same season over season over season. I mean, to be fair, I mean you're a United guy. It's similar a bit to United's, but I think with Spurs there is more of a frustration because United have won a lot of things,
yeah,
whereas
yeah,
Spurs, I mean, finally did. But you're not even talking about going back to the glory days, like United fans are looking for. It's like I don't even know what we're going back for. Something freaking better. I mean, that place is very toxic. And I
yeah.
think Liverpool did take advantage of that. That place is
I
very
think it
toxic.
goes down to the president, to be honest.
Well, he's gone. It's still toxic.
I mean, it's the sort of the atmosphere, the smell he left
He's
behind
just like
will be
leaving.
lingering on, and I think that's the culture of the team as well. To be honest,
Yeah, I mean, you would think as managers change, that would at least slowly change. I do like Thomas Frank and like his demeanor and how
yeah,
he talks and stuff. I was kind of disappointed with watching his press conference too. I mean, you Romero, right? I mean, we've talked a lot over here about Fernandez being a captain. How the hell is
yeah,
that even a thing and stuff? How the
yeah,
hell is Romero a captain?
yeah,
Like, like
exactly.
what kind of a squad do you have to make Romero a club captain? You're like, yes, this is the calmest guy we have. So, like, let's make him a captain. He's a true leader and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't. Well, we don't know what's happening behind the doors and what promises these players are given, or how much um, force they have in the locker room. Blah blah. But there you go. Exactly. I mean, it it depends on what you would expect in your culture from the captain. I mean, Liverpool has a culture, and they would expect um, a role model, because
Yeah,
Liverpool captains have a sort of a, a history. United
true.
captains used to. I'm not accepting Fernandez as a captain
Yeah.
at all. I have never done so. But Spurs captains, if you look at the past, maybe it's not as a consistent thing. It's not the calmest person in the team. It's not the most powerful. It's
Yeah.
not the fastest. It's not the keepers. That it's a mixed batch, I think. So well, Romero is having his day. I would
Yeah,
say.
I get. I mean, when you have a squad, I mean, Shelton says Spurs have zero leadership. I mean, I
Yeah,
literally, when they were crowding the referee constantly, and I'm like, how is this guy not getting a card? Then I was like, he's the captain because he had the captain. I was like, oh, I kept joking all week. Like, I was like, maybe that's why they made him captain because they can't stop him from talking to the ref. At least this
yeah,
way,
but
he's not gonna get a yellow card for talking to him. But I mean, he gets a red at the end for something really stupid, as they had really Liverpool on the ropes for a little bit. We went into
yeah,
a panic mode that's unexplainable against 9 men, mind
yeah.
you. They were like down to 9 men at the time. But overall, how do you see it from outside? I know you don't want to see it or you wouldn't want to see it, but do you see a Liverpool that's kind of like steered the ship now where, like, they're tied for top four and getting
No,
results back to back to
no,
back?
you will trip again. Obviously, I mean, just what Sheldon was saying. I didn't see the game, but if he gets blood pressure meds, well, I get them every day. But against 9 men, this sounds like the Fenerbahce we had last year under Mourinho, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah, it little
if
it's still
you're winning,
fragile.
you just want to keep it, not enjoying the game as much as you were in club.
Yeah, it's still fragile. I think that's what
Yeah,
it is. It's a
yeah,
little fragile. But I'll be honest, that's the game that, if it was Klopp in charge, for example, that game ends 3-3 or we win 3-2 or something. We still
yeah,
score, but we definitely concede another one. And so there is a bit more of a, I think, what I was saying earlier when you're like, oh shit, here we go again mode, especially the moments 2-0 becomes 2-1, they kind of get into that mode. So it's a little fragile, but the only way to get off of that is to kind of string some wins. And at
yeah,
least they're finally doing that. And the schedule helps in terms of like the teams they're kind of like matching up and stuff. But I mean, you got to play the people in front of you and you got to get the 3 points where you can. Because I mean, the goal now is you're not going to be in a title race. The goal is going to be the top four. And all you
no,
got to
but
do
is
is
this
beat
is
the other
this
teams.
did you see life after Mo, since he's naturally out? How did you see that?
I mean, we've been seeing it for the last, well, since he made the press
Yeah,
conference.
but there was always the shadow there. I mean, he was sitting there all
I mean, he's a short guy, to be
waiting.
fair, so the shadow is not that big. But
But
no, I think we all. I mean, everybody, I think, saw the writing on the wall. Anyway, we just did not think it would be as fast. But
Yeah.
now with the Isak injury, I don't know if things change again where there is a role for Mo to come back
Yeah.
into.
Yeah.
And I think Mo can. He has to adjust his game. I think Liverpool kind of Mo called the bluff. Well, Mo basically said me or slot kind of a thing. And I feel like the club backed the manager as they should and called his bluff. And I think, supposedly, Mo apologized and all that kind of stuff. We'll see what happens after AFCON. I mean, even in
Yeah.
watching that Egypt game, he did score the winner, but he did not have the best of games
No.
against another defense that was all like, what was it? Zimbabwe? No, it wasn't Zimbabwe. Who was it? Who were they playing with? Was it Zimbabwe? They had like parked the bus either way.
Mm. Yeah.
So, he did not have like the best of games, a lot of like misplaced passes and stuff like that again. But I think there's a role for Mo, but we are seeing the evolution. I mean, when that goal happens, the way it's happened, especially with Veers, Ekitike, and then Veers passes, gets his assist finally to Isak. Isak with a perfect finish. And my initial thing, what I yelled out was, that's why you pay, this money for that. The 300 million, well, you saw it in motion there in terms of like how it's worked. And then, obviously he gets injured. He's like, here we go again. Thank God it's not an ACL or MCL, because that not only affects the injury, but then it takes another year to come back from it. So broken leg is always a lot better than that. But I think you are already seeing the evolution, how Veers is going to be the important thing and everything is going to revolve around him, as opposed to having it revolve around Mo all these years. And I mean, you have to make that change, and it's never going to be, I don't think it's ever perfectly smooth when you go from 1.0 to 2.0, especially if you were winning. It's a lot easier when if you weren't winning, but when you were winning, it's a lot easier, like difficult to change. But yeah, I'm kind of liking what I see in terms of like this midfield. The only issue is the lack of depth, because the way you play right now, you don't have the pieces to bring in and substitute this midfield and stuff. But we'll see. Hopefully, if these injuries kind of get out of the way with Gakpo, and we'll see what they do in January. I mean, Semenyo was one big hope that everybody had. That's looking like not happening now, and he's going to go to City. Nothing is definite, but that's what it's looking like right now. So we'll see what they do. We'll see if they use Chiesa again and stuff. But either way, 3 points up to tied for fourth. Things going in the right direction compared to where we were like 4 weeks ago. We'll definitely take it. Leeds 4, Palace 1, showing once again why that is a really, really tough place to go. Everton 0, Arsenal 1. I do want to come back to this because I want to ask you about the title race and stuff. So, but this is what you can look at it both ways. You can say, oh, they found a way to win, because, Everton is never an easy away game either. No. But we saw this movie with Arsenal where they did this last year, and then those one goals stopped coming, and there were a bunch of 0-0s, and then Liverpool just like ran away with it over here. But let's come to your game, because I'm sure we'll come to that. And I want to ask you about the race up top, race on the bottom before we go. But Villa 2, United 1. We kind of watched this at the same time, texting back and forth. I was working at the same time. First off, I don't know how bad is Fernandez's injury.
I think it is bad. So he won't be around until for a month. I think 4 or 5 weeks.
Is that bad?
Well, from the look of things, we don't have enough legs or brains in the midfield as it is with Fernandez, and everybody is looking at him once they get the ball. And now they don't know who to look at. So I think Amorim has a real difficult change of model in the midfield, especially to go forward, because we didn't play badly at all. We didn't deserve that. But what we deserved is letting Rodgers make the same shot twice in the same game. So it's I think yes. I mean, he looked like a star. Rodgers, I don't think he's that good at all.
Really, I think he's really good.
But he wasn't closed down.
Oh, I'm not saying like, I'm saying in general.
No, I'm talking about this game.
Brewing it right now.
Yeah,
that I think he's good.
Yeah, but I mean, but I'm talking about this game. This is the thing with the upcoming stars. Yeah, because if you have one trick up your sleeve, you do this, and now everybody will be playing. Especially Fenerbahce will say, "Do not let him get that to
Yes.
his right foot."
Yeah, we
And
were kind of
if he
scouting at
doesn't
the
have
same
any
time
other
because
tricks, then he's
Fenerbahce is
dead,
going to play
isn't
him, but
yeah, I mean it's like a lot of the players. I mean they have if it's a one trick guy, then we'll see
but
the
he's
end
not a
of
one.
him.
I mean, like, no, he's a really good player. I know what you mean. Like by letting him have a shot that he likes having is kind of, especially with the World Cup. Yeah, I mean, Gali was saying it too. We are talking about that. He will go for big money, not to mention, being English and everything like that helps the cause
Yeah.
in terms of
Oh
price
yeah.
tag. So he will
Yeah.
probably, and Villa already struggling with, obviously they can't even use Elliott because of that and sign him and like play him and stuff and loan the player. So they will need the
Yeah.
money. So I get that. It goes back to your good players going to the big boys
Yeah,
thing.
the other thing is, I mean, because he is English, he will be polished a lot more than any
Yes.
other ordinary star. The UK being the UK, and the
Yeah.
national team, they will be sort of making him a star that he isn't. Villa is a good team. That's why from the beginning of the season, United isn't playing badly. I mean, we don't see Amorim's first few months, or we don't see at all what Ten Hag has done with the team. I mean, you are not hopeless. You feel the team wants to come back, and they have the sort of morale to actually do so. The belief, but conceding two goals like that goes back to the square one. Obviously the back line isn't good enough to carry
Yeah.
the midfield. The midfield isn't there at all, so there is no midfield to carry now. So I mean, after Fernandez's injury, one of our midfielders was a centre back, and the other was a 17-year-old, I think. So
What is the story? Where are you at with this Menu thing?
I think they lost him. United has. I mean, we were talking about Tottenham. United has a toxic thing as
Yeah.
because it's
Was it like
really
Rashford's buddy or something? Then he got caught in
yeah.
the mix or what?
Not enough. I mean, somebody was saying about leadership. Sheldon was saying Spurs have zero leadership. United has a toxic leadership. I think it's even worse. If you
Yeah.
don't have a leader, it's fine. But all these finger pointing and stuff. I mean, Euro is not that bad a guy, like defensively, but I think he's being sort of demoralized, and both goals. He has to be at least 2 or 3 meters closer to the guy than where he ended up being. That being the same goal, we sort of carbon copy the goal that we considered. That shows a lot of lack of leadership or toxic leadership, because if you do that once, it's okay. If you do that twice, that's either stupidity or not enough motivation to sort of or not enough self-confidence, let's say. But because of that, I'm not really sort of pessimistic. I think where United is far from far better than what we expected, what you expected as well. Because when I said
Yeah.
9, you said, "Oh, you're too optimistic." We are only 3 points away. I mean, it's the same deal that you talked about with Chelsea and Tottenham. I mean, how is United 3 points away from the
Yes.
fourth place? That's the other thing, isn't it? Yeah.
I mean, who is your vice captain? Good question.
Casemiro.
Eek. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
That's more like by age defaults, probably. Honestly, like
Yeah.
watching that game, bear in mind the only way United actually scored was Matty Cash giving the ball to Cunha, who was basically, it felt like it was Cunha against Villa for the most part, attacking
Yeah,
wise. And
yeah.
if Fernandez can find a pass, that's all there is going on, I think, in terms of attacking wise. Like, it's, yeah, they're not like so far below, but they're not, you don't look at those teams and say, oh, like which one. I mean, Villa looks, squad wise, I feel like it's a better squad, depth
Yeah.
wise and stuff, compared to like United. Maybe because United players have been slammed from like wall to wall all this time, so they're all like, like, you name a player, they have been slammed around for a couple of years at least. So then it's like everybody. But I thought like Cunha was, I was kind of impressed with, and he does miss. Yes, he's not a good
Yeah.
finisher. I did
Yeah.
not like. What do you think of Sheshko? Because I mean, this is the first time I think I watched him for an extended period, and I know he's young and it's not in a good situation anyway. But
No, I mean, if you look at the way United attacks, it's mainly if you go into a set, it's mainly sort of somebody who tries to sort of penetrate through the defense. We are not making crosses or go to
yeah,
the byline. We don't have that sort of thing. We always come from either a transition where Cunha sort of gets the ball and runs at the defense, and he spends a lot of energy. So Sheshko, I don't know what to think of it, because he didn't have enough touches to the ball.
but that's like the weird thing. Like,
Yeah,
they
yeah,
can't get him involved, and he's not. I mean, yeah, I remember Shelton kind of like vying for a moment. All this talk about Ekitike and stuff was going on. There was like a lot of divide, which
oh yeah,
I mean, I mean, it's unfair because they're in different situations, but I'm really happy with what we have with Ekitike. I mean, he looks the part definitely. And Isak was already a proven one, so that was kind of like, that wasn't the one being compared. I think it was Ekitike being compared to Sheshko, like in terms of alternatives.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
think we got the right one. I don't know if Sheshko would do it better if it was at Liverpool or vice versa or whatever, but he's not like a
No,
physical presence either, right?
no.
Like so I just don't, I don't understand this game, and it was hard to understand this game in that game because it looked like it was very cagey and really nobody looked good. I think it was, the fair result would have been a draw, like you were saying.
Yeah,
United should
yeah,
get something out of that. The fair
yeah,
result was probably a draw, but it goes back to who scores goals wins, if
yeah.
you will.
Well,
But
that's it.
okay, let's take a
Exactly.
look
But
at this before we go.
I'm sure we'll look at the upcoming games. I think we have a very good game on Monday. Yeah, Newcastle away,
United?
isn't it?
Is it? I don't know. We'll look at it now when
Okay,
we
we'll look
give
at it.
the predictions over here. Let's
Yeah,
start
okay.
with this. Let me get this to be a bit more isolated, but maybe not. Okay, so
Yeah, well,
standings.
we'll look
Let's
at the
go
way.
back to the drawing board over here. Um, Title race, especially if the Semenyo thing was done. I don't see Villa staying up there, especially as they keep advancing in the Europe. I think they will see that they can win that tournament and kind of focus on that. But City or Arsenal, if you pick one now.
I think that was a huge win for Villa, and where they are, they will end up probably being fifth or sixth. So they have got a lot of points in their pockets to be comfortable, and plus they would. I mean, they're only 3 points from the top, aren't they? I mean,
Yeah,
they can dream anyway. But I would agree with Shelton. If you look at the history, and I think most of the Arsenal fans will be praying in Christmas uh, to not history repeating itself again. It's Pep's return, what we talked about in the beginning of the season, and then it
yep,
looked like there is no return. And now suddenly, because Liverpool fell down as well,
yeah.
Pep is looking real good for the money now. But I think the way it's looking, it's City, but I think Arsenal will be edging this time to the championship.
Really, no, I still think looking at this, it's City just because of the
Yeah,
names involved for one. And
yeah,
Shelton says too, like, their second half, I think psychologically, you have a guy, and I'm not saying this because I can't stand Arteta and his Lego
yeah. I
head,
know you do.
but
Yeah,
you have a guy on one side you look at and say, we talked about this before, like when we were especially talking about the Turkish national team, right?
yeah,
As a player on the pitch, you look at the side and you're like, this guy has a plan, and you execute that plan, right?
yeah,
Like when you have Pep. And not to mention, that plan has worked a bazillion, gazillion times, regardless of
yeah,
these 115 charges that everybody has forgotten about, but that's a different story. So whereas you go to the other side, and if things are not going well, and like you're away is 0-0 and stuff like that, you look to your side and you see a guy who's kind of like a maniac.
yeah.
And I think you've seen the story happen over and over again. Psychologically, City has such a huge advantage. If I was City,
Yeah.
I'd be like, you know what, this is great. Let's just keep going in their rear view mirror for another 4 or 5 weeks. So they keep shaking, and then we'll just pass them and then take off. I really think they can. Once they pass, that psychology will kick in, and it will be
Yeah,
like last season. Will
I'm
Arsenal,
sure.
will, like Liverpool, Arsenal will collapse.
Unless a couple of guys, I don't know who, and they have the potential there, uh, then sort of shine up and or rise up to the challenge and take Arsenal over the line, like Eze's or Keres
I
is.
guess. I mean, they both have like. I mean, the Semenyo thing going to City, I think, really is a huge boost
Yeah,
because I think he's Premier League proven. He can come into a game and change things, and it's telling that he sees the writing on the wall. I think it's kind of like a bummer that he's picking them. I'm sure like the wages and stuff like that are going to be ridiculous compared to what Liverpool is going to offer and
yeah.
stuff. But it's not done deal yet. But it's definitely looking at it. And yeah, like Shelton says, they have created the 2.0. And look, we can see from them that was painful too. When you
Yes, it
go
was.
from this one version to the other, it is always painful. They had like a ridiculously down year, and then they have the money, they spent well, they got the guys, and they're back. So let's.
Unfortunately, we had to do the same while we were under the radar with Fernandez, and now Amorim has to do it because of the injury. Uh, I think we have to get out
Oh,
of
okay.
yeah. I mean, the transfers that come in always up top to the wing and stuff, but the problem wasn't there. The problem was the centre backs and the midfielders.
You know what the
Definitely.
difference is though? Like, I don't think United will be winning. Like, see,
No.
like you can go from point A to point B. Like we're talking about Liverpool and Mo, for example, right? You bench Mo, you kind of, I mean, for slots, I think it's lucky that the results go well. So you can say, see, this is the way we got to go. And then, you want to fit in this, you can fit in this, but this is the new way.
Yeah.
If you do not win, though, you can't really say that because you're like, you know what? Without me, you can't win. So I'll come back and do my thing again. Don't you worry. Once I get well, kind of a thing. I just don't think when they replace Fernandez, and if there's a player there, like I don't know, like Mason Mount or whoever is going to be in that midfield, that's you can say as a United fan, yeah, we're much better without him. I just don't think there's
No.
like it's not like there was an alternative that wasn't playing.
Exactly. So that's why in the beginning of the season I was telling you we needed two things, but United didn't want to do it because of exactly what you sort of what you are saying now, because we don't have an alternative and we don't want a losing streak again under Amarim. We have to get something going first. But
Hmm.
now let's see how he manages without them.
Let's look at this real quick and then we'll go to the prediction zone. West Ham, Burnley, Wolves are bottom. Wolves are pretty much done deal. Is there any hope for Burnley and West Ham? Forest is at 18 points. There's already a 5-point gap there, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you only have 13 points from 17 matches, 5 points is a
Yeah,
lot. So,
I think this is the way it will stay because of Leeds' home advantage, like we saw this week. They can become a scoring side and get points home. Um, and I think the other teams, unless there's a big dip in the form, I think they can sort of go ahead. And I think, yeah, I agree with Shelton. This is the three that I told you, except Wolves, obviously.
Okay, then it's not. I mean, you can't be like, this is the three I told you, except 33% of it.
2 out of 3.
What is that? See, I got it
Wow,
right,
this
except
is
33% of it. Like, okay,
Yeah.
so you
Well,
got
there you
West
go.
Ham right. So just take that
Yeah,
and
I
run
just
with it.
realized. Wolves. We got used to them in the bottom. So I mean, I can only see 19 teams. That's my problem.
Oh, that was so vintage, Edip, though. I got it right, except a big part of it. So
Yeah,
I'll claim it. Yeah, just take the West Ham as a win and move on. Okay, the games. You are right. I thought it was, you said at Newcastle, but it is
I
at Old
said at
Trafford,
Newcastle. No, we are home. Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
which does change things a lot, obviously, because Newcastle is a tough place to go to. Early prediction on that one.
A win. I think. I'm going
Really?
for a win. Oh yeah.
Without Fernandez?
Oh yes, definitely. Because we have to. I mean, the Villa game. Even after Fernandez, we had sort of chances. We were playing well. Newcastle will be coming there knowing that. Uh, I mean, we can set a game from the start, and you can see the flow of the game. It depends on who's going to come in to the midfield. I think Casemiro will be eligible to play, and maybe again Martinez. That's the thing, isn't it?
I mean, I don't know if they have injuries, which last game, I think, what's his face is out. What's the big dude that beats everybody? Joe Linton.
Oh
I
yeah,
think he's still out.
yeah. I
Or
think
was
he's
he
out.
on the? I think he was only on the bench last game. That's what I was trying to pull up over here. But I mean, that's the thing with Newcastle. I really think they have. Yeah, he was on the bench. He was an unused sub. But I mean, that midfield
Yeah.
is, I think, one of the best midfields in the Premier League anyway.
Yes.
So that's a tough battle for. I mean, Casemiro will be chasing around Tonali and stuff, and he'll get
Yeah.
yellow card by like the 15th minute.
Exactly. Well, let's see
Hmm.
how
They
that
are not
pans
the
out. But
same.
I think Cunha and sort of Mason Mounts. We don't have like in Sheshko and Xerxes, we don't have a menacing forward. I mean, if you look at them,
Yeah.
if you look at their Premier League history, there's nothing for the center backs of the opposition to be sort of even worried. To be honest.
Yes. That's a good point. Yeah. It's not like, doesn't put a scare in you. Sometimes that
No,
can help you, but not in this case. Like,
no,
you know what I mean?
exactly.
Like sometimes it can help you, but it's not
Yeah,
helping
but
them at all.
still expecting a win on Boxing Day.
That's a could be like that could be a good watch along actually. So we'll see how we do about that.
Yeah.
So okay, let's do the prediction zone over here. Let's put our money where our mouth is. Where is that thing when you need them, by the way? I don't have it right now, so we're gonna have to roll without the money video over here. But okay, so here are the games. Let me make it a bit smaller so you can see more of them. Upset pick for the week. And don't you even think about Wolves.
No. No, I wouldn't. But it will be a tough game. I think 2-0 for you.
I'll take a 2-0, I guess. I'll take a 2-0. That's a comfortable 2-0. That where we just pass the ball around is kind of a deal, but that's like where we make it 2 in the 90th minutes kind of a deal. So
Ooh. This I mean, Sunderland Leeds looks like a delicious game. 8 a.m. your time on Sunday. That will be a very cracking game, cracking bones
that is a
game.
good game, actually. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll wake up at 8 in the morning for it, but it's a good game.
Yeah, I know. Upset. I'll go for Villa if I have to go for an upset.
Is that an
I
upset?
think I mean Villa at Chelsea.
In London, I mean, against Chelsea, I guess I'll give you that. I mean, Fulham at West Ham is probably not an upset, right?
No. I mean, Fulham, West Ham winning is an upset, I think.
That's pretty sad. Man, there's not a lot over here. I have zero faith in Tottenham, especially now they don't have Romero either.
Yeah.
Or Simon, they were
And
already losing people.
Palace is coming from what happened after the penalties in the League Cup?
Arsenal won, I saw. I did not watch the game.
By penalties. Yeah, because it was 1-0 and then it was 1-0
Yeah,
yesterday.
Arsenal went past with penalties. The headline I saw, I did not watch the highlights or anything like that with it. I was going to, but now it's 12:30 in the morning over here. But anyway, I will go with. Man, this is a tricky one. I'm going with Leeds getting something out of Sunderland.
Okay, that will be a good game.
That is a good game. It's a morning coffee game. We'll see. But yeah, so you are thinking, has it been, so do you think now, we're almost at the midway point, that United will qualify for the Champions League?
That's a tough one. I don't think we were expecting that from the beginning. We still are in reaching distance, but I don't think it will be there.
Just fall short, kind of a thing. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
I think we will fall short. But at the end of the day, we will say this has not been so bad a season, because we don't have Europe, and we don't have the League Cup. We will be sort of taking it this, I told you, as an advantage that we have in the Premier League. So as long as the players think they have a chance, I think United will put in good performances. But I mean, realistically, we will just fall short, and we will say, yeah, we had a good season.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. That's why this is an interesting game to watch. First is Newcastle, so it's good opposition, and no Fernandez. I want to see kind of like what adjustments Amara makes. So that'll be like an interesting one to watch. But that'll be it for us this week. Hopefully we'll see next week. Obviously the transfer season starts. We'll probably do it at the same time again, Tuesday night going into New Year's Eve. That time where you can celebrate New Year's and get beaten up by the secular crowd over there. But for us, that's it. Tomorrow, actually today now, is Christmas Eve. So if you are celebrating Christmas, Merry Christmas to everybody. I'll be on air actually in approximately 8.5 hours. Gordo is going to be with us, as well as Gary. So we'll just shoot the shits, talk some Christmas stuff, talk some Liverpool. So do join us with the morning coffee. But have a great day, everybody. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.